In my last recording, I told you about the judgment that had been handed down by the High Court in Cape Town in June this year regarding the legal battle between Payapp/Brian Dalton and Polanocol/Rodney Bartman. If you listened to that recording, you would know that the judge dismissed Payapp's case against Polanocol with costs. If you know the history of this case, you would know that the gist of Payapp's case against Polanocol was a claim that Payapp had loaned a very large sum of money to Polanocol to buy the farm now known as Dalbarton. Brian Dalton claimed that Polanocol was now not able to repay the loan and should therefore be liquidated. In the judgment passed down by the High Court in June, the judge found that after a forensic audit of Polanocol's books, there was no proof or evidence of any loan to Polanocol by Payapp, and there went the main body of Payapp's claim. Payapp made various other claims which the judge also dismissed, but I'm not going to discuss them here now. What I want to discuss is Payapp's original claim that it had loaned a seven-figure sum of money to Polanocol in order for Polanocol to buy the farm now known as Dalbarton. Bear in mind that this claim was dismissed by the judge. I can just hear you wondering, why the hell am I harping on this so much? Well, I have something to show you. Take a look at this screenshot. This was taken just after Brian Dalton shut down the Payapp system and locked you and I out of the system. In so doing, he prevented every account holder from accessing their own money. So what is the significance of this, you might be asking? Well, if you have been paying close attention, you would know that Payapp's claim that Polanocol owes Payapp a huge sum of money was dismissed by the judge because the forensic audits that Rodney Bartman had done by professional auditors could not find any proof or evidence thereof, and I am sure that the judge would have asked Payapp to provide proof of the loan as well. What this screenshot tells me is that, and I quote, a large sum of funds on loan to Polanocol Pty Limited, and I close quote, was already missing from the Payapp system on or before the 1st of December 2021, a loan that the court has dismissed because there is no proof of it. Hold that thought. Also, in my last recording, I speculated whether or not Brian was going to appeal the judgment. Well, it appears that he is going to do just that. He is either in the process of or has already filed for leave to appeal the judgment. Although I have the details of the application, it is still sub judice and therefore I can't discuss its contents here. What I can discuss with you is what isn't in the application for leave to appeal, and this is where it gets really interesting. So what is it that does not appear in Payapp's application for leave to appeal that is so significant, you ask? Surprise, surprise. Brian does not appear to be disputing the judgment that the loan did not exist in the first place. There are a number of things that Brian is disputing, but the loan or its non-existence is not one of them. Could this possibly mean that the original court case was launched as a means to recover enough money from the liquidation of Polanocol and the farm to cover missing and or misappropriated funds in the Payapp system? Let's face it, if this were the case and if the lawsuit had succeeded, it would have solved a huge problem for Brian. Bear in mind that this is all pure speculation and is just one of, I am sure, many explanations to this situation. I just thought that this screenshot from 2021 and the fact that the judgment rejected the loan, as well as the fact that Brian does not seem to be disputing it, was quite ironic and was worth mentioning. What I think everyone should keep in mind is the fact that it is in effect Payapp that is suing Polanocol. This would essentially mean that Payapp would also be funding this lawsuit. In other words, your money as an account holder in Payapp is being used to pay for this court case. If the above scenario turns out to be the case, where does that leave you and I as account holders in Payapp? Payapp/Brian Dalton would really have no choice but to push this case as far as it could possibly go, and in so doing gain time. Time for what, you may ask? Well, there's a saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. And what we might be seeing here is a desperate attempt at winning this case at all costs, because the alternative could mean charges of fraud, embezzlement, theft, who knows what else. I'm now going to express my opinion on where I think this might end up once all avenues have been exhausted, and I'm afraid when all the money has run out. If Payapp continues to lose the case and is held responsible for the costs of all parties, I see a time coming where Payapp itself will be declared insolvent and will cease to exist. All account holders will be left with nothing or very little at best. And then the private lawsuits will begin, while the people living at Dalbarton will pick up where they left off and move forward once again. I guess only time will tell. If you have not done so already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notifications. If you would like to help the channel out, there are links in the description of this video and every other video on my channel. To those who do help out, I say a huge thank you. Your contributions are very much appreciated. Until next time, be safe out there.